for let's say this one, and let's say this was a query made, and what we will do is that we'll just search for DNS, and let's press enter, and we have the Wikipedia. So we have the response, and let's figure out what the response is. So the IP address is of Wikipedia is 91.198.174.194. Okay, 91.98. So just remember that. And what we'll do is that we'll go to 191.98, and over here, what we will do is we go to the IP header, and what we'll do is this is destination address. So what we'll do is we'll add a filter to it, selected, and because we know that the certificate will be sent out by the web server, so that's what I'm doing is that I'm just changing it to source. Okay, IP.source. And this will tell me what all details was shared by the Wikipedia. Okay, so now thing is that if you see that, okay, we are seeing the server hello over here, and server hello, and let me just quickly go to this one. It says, okay, what all cipher it will use, and over here then there is like a lot of packets going back and forth. Okay, so we are not seeing the certificate over here. Okay, so but the thing is that most of the time we should see the certificate something like this. Okay, so either it can be that certificate is also kind of shared by the Wikipedia over HTTPS. That's the reason why Wireshark is not showing up the certificate in kind of in plain text. Sorry. So in plain text over here, but most of the time when the server will be kind of sharing the certificate, it most of the time happens over in plain text. So this is where we can kind of see this packet, and we can kind of understand more about details about the certificate. Okay, what all things are there in that info. Okay, so this is a quick kind of introduction about the details that you could kind of look up in the HTTPS traffic, even though you don't have a decryption setup. Okay, so thing is that this all details is also what is used by a lot of like logs that is prepared, like let's say DNS log, or let's say NetFlow log that we discussed earlier. Thing is that even though there is kind of HTTPS traffic going back and forth, the NetFlow log will be able to tell you the IP address of that web server to which the client was making a connection, and what the amount of data was transferred between them. Okay, so those all things even NetFlow log that we have seen earlier can kind of capture, because this kind of data, like what's the IP address of the web server and all, is always should be available in decrypted format. Okay, this is again something quick introduction about like what all kind of data you can see from an HTTPS traffic without decrypting that traffic. Okay, so one thing to mention over here before I exit from this discussion is that here we see the DNS packet response. If you see over here that, okay, a DNS query was made and response was made, but then there is also one protocol that is into a discussion that you might kind of encounter later, and that will be DNS over HTTPS. Okay, so in that what happened is that if I just go over here and let's say I say DNS over HTTPS, I won't be deep diving into this one, but thing is just I am telling you like this is something quickly at a high level that this is something you should expect. This kind of traffic going forward is that we won't be seeing the DNS packet, like here we see the DNS packet in decrypted format. Okay, but going forward, if the web server is trying to kind of utilize DNS over HTTPS, the thing is that in that case we won't be even seeing this kind of DNS packet in decrypted format. So we won't be able to see what URL the DNS query was made out to and what was the IP address returned from that. So those all things we can't see if the web server is doing the DNS, if the DNS is happening over the HTTPS protocol. Okay, So again, that this kind of information will be hidden from us. Okay, so it will be really more difficult to kind of know what website did the user visit and what was the IP address returned from that. Okay, so you can kind of in free time have a kind of a look at this protocol that will be kind of that you can kind of encounter uh, in most of the time going forward in future. Maybe most of the websites will implement this DNS over HTTPS traffic. Okay, and it will be really difficult then for the SOC guys to kind of understand. Okay, what was the website did the user visited, and what was the response of that thing. Okay, so if once this protocol is kind of implemented by all the DNS server. Okay, so that's all about a quick discussion about what all traffic you can kind of see from the HTTPS traffic. And I hope guys you were able to download that sample that I shared with you, and you can kind of follow up on the thing that I'm kind of doing over here. Okay, so that's all for this one. And now let me quickly jump to the next topic, and let me quickly see what that next topic is. Okay, so now we will be jumping to the SMTP part. Okay, SMTP, and we'll do some email analysis at a high level. Okay, so thing is that now as you might recall, so what I will do guys is that if you don't have any questions, and I hope I am audible, I see that there's no issues. So as I told, feel free to kind of interrupt me whenever you have any question or concern. And now we'll go with the SNT protocol, but give me some time. I'll just take 2 minutes break. I'll quickly grab some water, and then we'll kind of continue with that discussion. Okay. So just hold on for 2 minutes. Okay, guys. So now we will be turning upon the discussion regarding the SMTP and email analysis. So thing is that again, as I will be telling, there we will first go through some theory and understand like what SMTP is and what are the terminology that is used in the SMTP protocol. Okay, and once that's done, what we will be doing is then we'll look at the email analysis part, since the email is a SMTP protocol. So we're kind of looking at that, and then we will kind of doing some lab. We will doing some analysis like, okay, we have some email headers and how we can figure out what all things we can figure out from there. That okay. So so we'll try to kind of complete some theory, and then we'll kind of look at some lab for this SMTP and email analysis. Okay. So the first thing, uh, let's start with the SMTP part. Okay. So let me just quickly draw some diagram over here. So the first thing